now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut. It's Chris Burns. It's Chris Lynch. This is Dysfunction Junction.
Just what you wanted on January 2nd, another fucking countdown. But we're here, and we're going to have some fun tonight. I dragged an old friend into this just to have some fun. It's our 100th episode. It's Am I the Asshole night? And in most cases, yes, Herm is the asshole. But it's my duty and privilege to say to you after 100 episodes, and I don't know how long we've been doing this particular open, but let's do it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Jabroni Studios in association with Big Herm Productions says, welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Fuck yeah.
My name is Chris Burns. To my immediate left on the screen is the Possum King himself. This is the part where you say your name.
This is where you talk, buddy.
Right. Unmute yourself if you can. I know you're about to resign from your position as Harvard president.
All this newfangled technology.
I know, seriously.
I'm the new Harvard president.
Oh, okay. And your name is?
I don't have one.
Here he comes. That's what his name is.
All right. The Possum King. Yeah. It's Chris Lynch, everybody. In the upper left corner. Shut up, Herm. In the upper left corner, it's the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair. He is the minister of meat, the consigliere of chicken, and he is the pope of pork. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Big Herm Michael P.S. Herman.
The rabbi of ribs.
Oh, see, I never thought of that one.
And it's kind of sacrilegious. It's bad, like the rabbi of ribs and their pork. But still, when I cook them, they're blessed and kosher. So there it is.
Amen to that. And I dragged an old high school friend of mine in on this tonight to do Am I the Asshole? He's a friend of the show. He is also in the lotion cabinet. He knows what the lotion means, and it doesn't mean what you think it means.
Put it in the basket.
That's right. Put it in the basket, or else you get the hose again. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend from high school, Mr. Matt Marsh, is here with us.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Looking like he just got off the hobo train from New Jersey with that hat and beard.
He just stepped off the boat after a 3-month run with Tatuna or something. I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure I saw him last week on Biggest Catch. Look at him.
See, I went and bought that guy a $5 Happy Meal just to, make him happy, and he's like, "But I wanted the booze." It's all good. Matt, how you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Good. Did you tell your friends? Did you tell your friends you were going to be here and have some fun tonight?
Yeah. I told my wife. She was like, "You're going to go and socialize?" I was like, "Yeah, once a year."
Kinda.
Well, all right,
but yeah.
Yeah, right. Before we get started, I got two questions. Is one, somebody actually married you? And
no one's
two,
more surprised than me.
I was going to say, and two,
different people to marry me.
The only well, that's a little different. You drugged them all.
Just slightly, just a little bit.
Chloroform works wonders.
Right? Rufalin is your friend.
Bleach and rubbing alcohol.
Amen to that. And if you want to give these folks just a little bit of a taste of how we all know each other, except for Lynch, who's meeting you for the first time, give them a little background. How do we all, the three of us, know each other? From high school, obviously.
Lord. Well, me and Herm go all the way back to elementary school.
Like elementary school. You're like, you're a year behind.
I was a year behind him. Yep, I was a year behind him. And then I think I ended up in a Spanish class with him my sophomore, his junior year. That was awful. But yeah, and that was and I met you in the hallway my freshman year. You were a junior. You were carrying the novelization of the Tim Burton Batman movie down the hall, and we started chatting.
I remember that. I bought that book. If anybody needs to know where I bought, there used to be a grocery store down the hill from my house in Gales Ferry, Connecticut. Mythical place for people in middle America. It's in Connecticut. And they had these very thick.
Is rich.
I know it's not that way.
It's really fucked up, but like no,
it's not that way.
We have ghettos in Connecticut too.
But
everybody out here thinks, "Oh, you're rich."
I would buy those. I would buy those paperback books of whatever movie was going to come out, whether it was Rambo 2 or Rambo 3, can't remember. Batman, as Matt alluded to. There was one for I can't remember the movie. Help me out here, Herm. Late 80s. It was a horror film. Fuck. It doesn't matter. I bought the book. I want to say it was Misery.
Oh. Could have been.
Yeah, the book fucked me up. Then I saw the movie. I'm like, yeah, the movie kind of sucked.
Could have been. That was actually like that wasn't allowed reading for a project in school. Like that was one of the options.
Well, that was. I mean, the axe turned into a sledgehammer, and it
was
ridiculous.
Tis what it is. Anywho, welcome, Matt. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
But Herm's got a quick hit, and we're going to take 15, 20 minutes. Look at this. Jen Sizer's in the comments. Hello, Jen, one of our most awesome fans. Would love to, if Jen, if you're at home and you want me to send you the link, if you want to join this party of idiots, you are free to do so. I invited you and Matt at the same time. So bring it on. Yeah, you were. You were there. See? He synced it. Herm, you got a quick hit that I think we're on opposite ends of the spectrum on, but we're going to take a couple minutes to talk about this. Hit it, Herm.
All right, so we are all three of us are. It's known that we are big on the real crime docu stuff.
Speaking of which, check out this week's Crime and Sports that I sent you the link for. I sent you the picture. You're gonna have a great time. It's funny as fuck.
Oh yeah, I get notifications on that now because
don't miss this week.
But if anybody doesn't know out there, there's a young lady called her name is Gypsy Rose
Blanchard.
Yeah, whatever, Blanchard.
Same.
Sir.
Tully Blanchard, for all we know.
Right. I was just gonna say that shit. You stole it. Late great daughter of Tully. But here's the thing. Like her mom basically did this whole. It was a Munchausen's by proxy, and to even fuck this up even further to another level of fucktiffity. The girl wasn't even sick. All right. The girl, the mother masterminded and manipulated and convinced this girl that she was busted, broken, didn't work, unhealthy, had to be taken care of. Well, apparently, the young lady got tired of this and being abused and had her boyfriend kill her mom. So we've obviously learned that how that manipulation thing works from Mama. So Mama taught us something. But she's been released. She's done her whatever her allotted time was. That
8 years.
How much?
8.
I was going to look it up, but if Matt knows.
No, it's like 7, 8
years. 10-year sentence. But it was knocked down to 8.
Yeah. She was let out for good behavior because she was not she was a model prisoner.
That's what you want to be.
I guess it is. I guess my issue is not with all of that. My issue is that she's out, and I'm seeing a lot of push of how wonderful this young girl is, and how with her struggle, and I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. So if you think this girl doesn't have some whack shit going, then you would eat the sandwich Jeffrey Dahmer brought you.
So here's the thing with her, though. She gets released from prison, and she's immediately being followed by film crews for her reality TV show that's been already set up. So
she's going to make bank.
Of course.
They're going to paint her like a fucking Picasso.
What about
to make her the prettiest thing ever?
You can't benefit from your fucking crime.
Is it her crime or is it her story? Let's draw the line in the sand. Is it her crime or is it her story?
But isn't her notoriety literally a result of her crime?
Yes, because
nobody knows who the fuck I am.
Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, from the comment section to the screen, it's Jen LaProte Sizer.
That deserves a link. Oh, yay!
Oh, good Christ.
And smoke 7 people and become national news, and I'm that popular because there's a grassroots movement behind me, then aren't I still benefiting from the crime? Without the crime, nobody knew who the fuck I was.
But didn't her mother benefit from all the things that were given when the mother was claiming that, oh, she's got this or she's got this, and told her, you have to be in a wheelchair? This was a healthy young lady.
I'm not disputing.
She shaved her head. She made her be in a wheelchair.
I'm not disputing any of that. My dispute is the post release from jail notoriety.
Oh, absolutely.
Not necessary at all. It should have been Gypsy Rose was released from prison early on a 10-year sentence after serving 8, and now let's talk about the donuts at the local donut shop and do the piece. It should not be this much notoriety.
If this were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, this is not the huge story that it is. We're in the age of social media where if Tom Cruise farts, you know it 10 seconds later. If Ian Ziering gets beat up by a bunch of kids, you know it 10 minutes later. This is
what about that Jesse guy who said he was racially profiled and beat up, and Smollett?
Oh, Jesse Smollett, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are all just feeding into the same reason. This should not be what it is. Okay?
Absolutely not. When it comes to me,
that was all the left pushing and feeling sorry and her.
No. When it comes to me, I pick and choose. I'm not gonna stand behind Jussie Smollett because, well, it was fake. I'm not gonna stand behind Bubba Wallace because, well, it was just a rope on a garage that at any given client that I visit and I tour their factory, they have the same fucking pull down that Bubba Wallace had in his garage. It wasn't a noose. It wasn't Rachel. It wasn't Rachel, not Rachel. Whoever's out there named Rachel, I apologize. Jussie Smollett, Bubba Wallace, a couple others, I'm not going to buy into. I watched the documentaries and I remember the story when she had the boyfriend kill the mother. And I've been following this greatly for 7-8 years now.
Absolutely.
I never even heard
if she wants to go out and put up billboards that says Gypsy Rose is out and yes, my mother's dead, you know what? God love her. If she wants to make $1 million on it, God love her. End of the day, she was an accomplice. She didn't do the killing. So I don't know how the law works because I'm not a lawyer and none of us on this panel are, but I think she has the right to tell her story, but if there's going to be profit, she should and absolutely 1,000% should be forced to donate the proceeds to a certain charity, this, that, and the other thing. Her name alone is going to carry her for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
She's already had a couple of movies made about her. I watched the one last year with Arquette, Patricia Arquette. It was a pretty good movie. It paints the picture pretty well, accurate to the documentaries that I've watched. The problem I have now, Chris, you're right. She didn't commit the murders, but she, like Herm just said, was so convincing. She orchestrated the entire thing down to when to come over, what to do, the whole.
It was almost murder for hire, but she didn't pay him with money.
Right, she paid him in sex. Seriously, because
how do I get involved in a? How do I get involved in a racket like that?
The first date they ever went on was to a Disney picture at a theater with Gypsy Rose's mom, Gypsy Rose, and the kid, and they took off and had sex in the bathroom for half the movie. And,
the three of them?
No, God, no.
Ew.
Picture it didn't fucking happen.
Right? Matt Marsh is making a case for fourth head on this show. I'm just throwing that out there.
All three of them went to the bathroom?
Yeah. But that was her payment, was sex. Sex and the promise of freedom from he could see her and had full access to her all the time if she's gone. I don't know if she ever said the words, I want you to kill her. I wasn't there during the court proceedings, or it was never explicitly written down in the documentaries or the movies that they've made of her that she said, I want her dead. But it was alluded enough to that if she went away, this would we would be so much happier. And that poor bastard's he's serving life in prison now.
Yep.
All right. Let me throw my, I don't want to say it's a dissenting opinion. Some may agree, Herm will not, which is why I'm the author of Herm's a Dick Volume 1, which will be in bookstores in about a year.
Sell it. I'll make money off that shit. I don't give a fuck.
I'll give you 50% simply because your name's on it.
They got a pop-up book.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? You open the page. There's Herm smoking a brisket.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, those were my favorite fucking books on the planet, dude. If we made a big Herm pop-up book,
oh god, it would go horribly wrong.
No,
I am not even.
But it would be so horribly right.
I'm not walking down that street right now. I'm closing my eyes.
You open the book and it's a big chef's hat.
Yep,
that's where it starts.
Yeah. It works from there.
This girl, all right. This girl was exploited by her mother terribly. From the what was it?
Or God damn it!
No, my name's not Jeffrey Epstein.
No, like my own children. That's what.
Different.
I own
but
them.
Until they're 18, and then you kind of are part. You're kind of on a lease with a rent. With you know how that works.
Yes.
Look. This girl was exploited. She wasn't sick. She wasn't. Look, I'm going to use a word that a lot of people don't like. She wasn't sick. She wasn't retarded. She wasn't handicapped. She was just a girl that the mom saw dollar signs. Well, if I could just shave her head and put her in a wheelchair and do this and yada, 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 and made
teeth out.
Right. And made bank doing so.
I bet that was fun.
Remove her saliva glands.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If this girl makes $40 bazillion, I could give half a shit. This girl deserves everything she has coming to her monetarily. The problem with that is going to be when the law steps in and says you can do this much, but the rest of it you have to give away to a charity of your choice.
I'm going to walk that statement back you just said about that she wasn't the R word. Do you, for one, at any time believe
that bitch is special needs? I don't care what you call it.
Because if you say you watched the documentary,
I was in those classes.
That's right. I was in them classes. I know what I'm looking for.
I taught him classes. If you can tell me that during the documentaries that you've watched, the way she acted,
did we lose Jen?
We lost them.
We did. She
was 12, 13 years old, that you didn't think that she was developmentally disabled or like maybe 13 years old physically, but mentally she was like 5.
Well, which one of
that's how she was portrayed.
Which one of the 5 personalities we saw? Which one of the 5 personalities we saw was the retardo one? Because during the documentaries, we saw 4 or 5 different people that she was. We saw 4 or 5 different versions of her.
And the movie with Patricia Arquette illustrated that very, very well. That in front of her mother, she was just this kid in a wheelchair who didn't really think of anything other than eating paste and finger painting with her shit. But then, as soon as the mother's out of the picture, you see a little bit more intelligent Ruby.
I'm gonna throw this out here. Herm knows he's raised 3 children that I know about.
That's right.
I've raised 1. She's pretty well adjusted, thank God, because I'm her father.
Yeah.
If you raise them a certain way, if you tell them, and I'm saying this with all due love in my heart, and not that he's ever going to watch, you know who I'm talking about. If you raise them to believe that anything you want to do in life, you can do, and that you're awesome, and not kiss their ass, but if you, like with my kid, I'm just going to throw my kid out here. Emma, you can do whatever you want to do in life. You got to bust your ass. You got to work hard. You got to put your mind on the prize. You can do it. If you raise a kid to believe you're stupid, you're ignorant, you're never going to amount to much, that's a tall hill to climb. And for the mother, and I hope she's rotting in hell, to raise her kid to believe that she was sick, she was less than. Yeah, it's all in the upbringing to an extent, because you get to be about 16, 17, 18, and you're like, maybe this wasn't what mama told me it was. And that's the story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
And that's when the light bulb went off for her at about 16, 17 years old. And she's like, this isn't how other people live. And I'll say it. The mother got what she deserved.
I want to hear Jen's a teacher. She's got.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm a school counselor. I'm not a teacher. I have extensive background and education in the psychology of children. And so there is the nature versus nurture piece to this whole thing. But for Gypsy Rose, she had the nature and the nurture because her mom was not all there upstairs. And then she had the nurture part where her mom is telling her all of these things. She has no reason to not believe her mom is telling her the truth. So like every part of her believes that she is sick, even though she knows that she can get out of her wheelchair when nobody's around and she can walk around her house. She knows that when you go into public, you are this disabled person. And Chris, right, when she, I think she was actually older than 16. Because,
might have been.
I think the killing happened when she was 21 or 22, because when they went to court, she was already 23.
I'm looking that up now. Keep going. I'm looking that up now.
Yeah.
Like the dad had called on her 18th birthday to wish her a happy birthday, and the mom kept saying, "Don't tell her it's her 18th birthday. She thinks she's 14." So, and if you have no sense of time, she got pulled out of school when she was like 7. Yeah. So you have no sense of time. It's kind of like what's his face when he's on the island with the Wilson ball.
Oh, Castaway. So you have no concept of time. So she has no reason to believe she's not 14, even though she is a legal adult. So everything that she's being fed by her mother, she has nothing to prove that her mom's lying. She has no reason to believe that her mom is lying. Yeah, she doesn't have an apple to compare it to an orange.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
she doesn't know any better.
According to the Google machine, if you don't mind me stopping you for a minute, Jen, Gypsy Rose was born on July 27th, 1991. She served her 8 years in prison. She's 32 years old now. So when everything happened, she was in her early 20s. She served the 8 years. She went to jail when she was 24.
Right. The trial started. She was 23 years old.
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense.
And her mother had her believing that she was like 14, 15 years old.
Now, what was the father with all this was going on? I mean, I'm assuming they were separated, but
yeah,
he beat feet.
They separated when she was an infant. The dad, I guess
he was in periodic contact, or
yeah, he was very, very sporadic at best.
And it was controlled through the mother. So that's why the mother kept him at arm's distance. From what I understand, he tried to make more contact with her as a child, but the mother just wouldn't allow it because that would fuck up the mother's motive. You can't tell. That's why don't tell her she's 18. She believes she's 14 years old. She's going to be 14 years old.
He just took the mother at her word that she was basically a potato.
Correct.
Yeah, well, the mom was creating all of these situations, and that's how Munchausen's by proxy works, is somebody with regular Munchausen's, they believe themselves to be sick. So they do things to create situations where they get the attention from the hospital staff, from their family, from loved ones, whoever. Munchausen's by proxy is you create situations for somebody else so you get the attention because of them. Obviously, that would be her daughter. So she was making her take all of these crazy medications. So the doctors would believe that she had MS or she had some kind of illness or whatever the case may be. She had brought her to the doctor. I think they said something around the lines of 14 different doctors to get one diagnosis. And so when one doctor wouldn't give her the diagnosis that she was looking for, she would go to somebody else. That's and typical. Then they were saying that Hurricane Katrina happened and the mom was using that as an excuse why she had no medical records. And they just took her for her word because, you know, you have this what they thought was a little girl presenting with these issues. And unfortunately, where I come in with the mental health aspect, like there's a lot of things that doctors just give a blanket diagnosis for. And it's like kids with anxiety. If they're just saying, I'm anxious about X, Y, and Z, and the parent keeps bringing them to the doctor over and over and over again, the doctor will give a diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder. And then it will usually say unspecified at the end because they don't know why.
Right. And 9 times out of 10, it's usually the kid's anxious because of the parent.
Yeah.
The parents,
absolutely.
Because kids who are already anxious feed off the vibes, just like an animal, like a dog. I work with rescue dogs, Jen, and they feed off your vibe. So and a kid's going to do the same. The kid's going to do the same things. Say what you want about humans, but we're pack animals, man. We give off what we get from the people we hang out with.
Yeah,
which is why I'm here with you two assholes every week. Yeah,
and that's why I love watching you guys.
Well, thank you, Jen, and here we go. We're about to dive straight in. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 100. Are you ready for Am I the Asshole?
My favorite.
H-O-L-E.
So, in a blind draw. Oh, wait, do we have music? Don't we usually have music?
We do, but not tonight. I'll make that happen for the next time.
All right. Next time, you two are coming back. So you can
be an asshole too. There you go. There's music.
All right. That'll work. So, we're just coming out of Christmas. We're just coming out of New Year's. I'm hunting down the best holiday versions of Am I the Asshole? And this one is 1 day old. And by a blind draw, the order is going to go Lynch, Matt, Jen, Herm.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that again. Lynch, Matt, Jen, Herm. Why? Because Herm will fuck this up at some point or another.
It's not really fucking up when I run the show. I'm just saying.
Good point, but, you know, whatever works.
I mean, he's got a button you can just push and say, make this all go away. Just
right.
I'm just saying.
And how are we going to debate if he's the last one talking?
That's right.
No, we all get to choose. When I read it out, you get to choose. There's no debate. You choose if this person's the asshole or not.
Right.
All right. Are you ready, Lynch? You're the first one to go.
Of course I am.
Here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my son he can pay for a holiday upgrade? I'm taking my kids to Hawaii for Christmas. The hotel prices are absolutely criminal. At this point, I'm seriously thinking about looking to rent an RV instead. Stop. I don't know where you live.
I hate poor people.
Where the fuck are you going to get an RV to drive to Hawaii?
Oh, you can get those. That's easy. 1-800-RVs. You can get those anywhere. But here's my thing: you're already starting off. You're going on a fucking vacation to Hawaii, and you're already bitching about prices. You broke fuck.
Where in the ever-loving fuck are you going to find an RV that'll drive from, I don't know, bumfuck Missouri to Hawaii?
No, you won't. But when you get
to Hawaii, up at the airport.
When you get to Hawaii, you can rent an RV and stay in that.
These are the things that this guy should have enunciated. Here we go.
See, this is the problem. This is what NASCAR wants to know how they drive over to get to Le Mans next year. Like, what road do I take to get over to France?
Herm. Shut up, Herm. I noticed that oh my God. I noticed that the difference between 2 beds and 3 is like $1,200 for the whole trip. So I decided to get 2 beds. Me and my 11-year-old son and 10-year-old nephew will share 1 bed. Stop. That sounds kind of Diddleish.
About
And my 17-year-old and 8-year-old will share another one.
That just sounds cramped.
Yeah, that sounds diddleish.
Aaron's house.
like welcome to Hotel Epstein.
Right? My 17-year-old had a fit over all of this about sharing a bed with his brother. I told him there was nothing to be upset about. My 8-year-old takes melatonin at 8 and is dead asleep by 8:30. Epstein Island. You can prod him with a stun gun, and this
Uncle Benny
you can
rescue.
There you go. You can prod him with a stun gun, and this boy will not wake up. My 17-year-old goes to bed at about 10 or 11. My 17-year-old is still angry at the thought. So I told him, go ask your mom to pay the difference, and I'll get you your own bed. Hell, I'll get you the presidential suite if she pays for it. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with sharing a bed with your 7-year-old brother. Am I the asshole, Lynch?
So listening to all that, who's telling the story? Is this the father or the?
I'm
the
guessing
mother?
it's the dad because he said, "Go ask your mom."
It's a lot to unpack.
I'll start by saying I want to stay at her house. If I was like, I like going out to Sharon's house, and she makes me feel good in my no-no places. But anyway, yeah, you kind of are an asshole if you entertain the fact that this kid's just pitching a fit and you spend a lot of money for an upgrade. Fucking suck it up and deal with it, kid. You're on vacation. You're not home. So I always look at it this way. When we go on vacation, the hotel or the whatever we're staying at is the least of my worries. As long as I got somewhere to be out of the weather, I don't plan on spending my entire vacation in the fucking hotel room. I'm going to be out. When we were in Ireland for 2 weeks, we literally stayed out as late as we could, laid down for a couple hours, got up, and went back out into Ireland. I didn't want to spend my time in these fucking bed and breakfast farmhouses. Yeah, there's a cow, there's a horse. Oh, let's go to the countryside. Fuck the hotel.
Yeah, I mean that's usually good for a day. Like every fucking vacation we've ever done that. I've done that. Like, there's one day where you just kind of. When we went to Disney World, we went there. We fucking trucked Disney World for 5 days fucking straight, and we were there for 10. On like day 6, we literally just hung out by the pool and ordered pizza.
And just relaxed a little bit.
Right.
I mean, if you want, you want.
So one of those days is absolutely fine. Like when you're doing a hotel, there's always that one day where like, all right, what do you say? Because you've got kids, man, and about 3 days in, they're fucking fried. So you're like, all right, you know what? Maybe we'll take a low key day. We'll hang out at the pool. We'll do that. And then all right. And then everybody's back at it for 3 days and we're back on the flight and we're home. But unless you are just a couple, you don't go on vacation planning to not really leave the hotel or the resort.
Right. I mean, yeah, if he bought the kid an upgrade, yeah, he's an asshole because you caved into a 17-year-old kid who's just sitting there whining, complaining.
Message.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think he bought it, but the point was that he was an ass. He wanted to know if he was an asshole because he was making the kids spend for the upgrade.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's exactly how it was.
So two things. I think
fuck him, then. If he wants to pay for it, go ahead and fucking pay for it. I'm not paying for it.
You see how Herm already hermed everything.
Whatever.
Yeah, and then I corrected myself. I'm like, Walter, I corrected my behavior, and I'm now.
There you go.
Are you wearing a shot collar on your balls?
Lynch, was the dad the asshole?
No, given that set of circumstances, absolutely not. If the kid wants to pay for it, go.
Matt. Is the dad the asshole?
I mean, looking at it from somebody our age perspective, you look at it one way, whereas a 17-year-old is going to look at it another way. I mean, I get that, but as far as is the dad the asshole for doing it, I don't think the dad's the asshole for doing it. Not under those circumstances.
And look, before it gets to me, the one thing that I liked about what the dad wrote was, yeah, you have a problem with this, but I'm paying for this trip. Get your mom to float the other half of the bill. I'll get you your own room. Done and done.
Yeah,
Jen,
simple.
Is the dad the asshole?
I'm gonna flip the script and say, if it was my kid, I'd tell him to stay fucking home. And then we only have 2 and 2 in the bed, you know what? And then I would be the asshole. But let me tell you, I don't care if we're going to McDonald's and ordering off the dollar menu. If I'm paying for it, you're grateful, the end.
There you go. So the kid's the asshole, not the dad.
Correct.
All right. Herm, you're batting clean up here.
Wow. No, I don't think the dad's an asshole. I think the dad's fucking a little unrealistic in regards to how he opened the letter about going to Hawaii and that it would be expensive. They just got, buddy, like they just like wrecked that whole state with like a fire and shit. So like everybody's trying to like recoup their costs. So everything's going to be real fucking expensive because half of the tourist stuff is not there. So same amount of people that want to go, but only half the amount of room and stuff for them to do. So your demand is high, shit's going to be expensive. However, that aside,
here we go.
I don't think the father's an asshole. I'm paying for the trip. You want to fucking you want an upgrade? Buy it, bitch.
Yeah, if you want to make demands and you're 7,
I don't know what
I'm with you. I'm with you. If you're 17 and you're making demands, dig into your paper route money. Let's go into the comment section. We got Big Al.
When you're 18, I'm gonna have demands about you moving the fuck out.
Bingo. In the comments, Big Al says, "Happy New Year, you filthy bastards." Another high school friend, Jen Edwards Scala. I have to say her last name because if I don't, I'm going to get punched in the mouth. My other half loves Jen already. So, Jen, you have fans. Welcome to the show. And Justin Potter says, "I miss you, Chris." Oh, thank you, Justin. You'll see me tomorrow night on the Speedway Review, which is the show you actually like to watch. All right. I'm with you guys. The dad's not the asshole. The kid is the asshole. Here we go. Number 2.
Kid's just
Oh God. Same running order. Am I the asshole for refusing to go on a family holiday with my fiance's family? I, a 21-year-old female, have been with my partner, 21 male, since we were 17. And next year, we're expecting our first child together. Well, congratulations. My mother-in-law is always saying that we don't see them often enough, so I invited her out to lunch for a girls' day to make her feel included with myself and my mom. While we were out, she didn't invite us, but demanded that we have to go camping with them for Christmas. I'm guessing they live somewhere warm. Doesn't matter. They didn't say. Usually I would say yes, but because they're going camping in the winter when my baby would be only 3 months old, I told her that myself and the baby wouldn't be going, but that we can do something together with the family a little closer to home, but not overnight. I clearly said that my partner would go, not me, and not the baby. I explained I'm not comfortable letting my baby go camping in winter at such a young age, and that I'm also not comfortable doing a 3-hour drive with such a young baby. When I told her we weren't going, she just ignored me and didn't acknowledge what I told her. The following week, my boyfriend went over without me to visit his family and his mom and told her that I wasn't planning to go and said I would disown his family. Oh, wow. You're leaving a lot of context out, young lady. When I messaged her about it, asking why she... Yeah, somebody help me here. There's a lot of context left out here.
Camping, I'm disowning you. Whoa,
yeah,
whoa. Back that story up.
There is more to this story than meets the eye, but I'm going to keep going. Yeah, just flip the next 48 pages. Get to the good stuff. When I messaged her about it, asking why she thought that I said that she said she was discussing what we talked about at lunch and wanted to make sure she wasn't overstepping boundaries, I was absolutely furious. But I remained calm and said that I will now only be seeing them with my boyfriend around to make sure there's no misunderstandings. I needed an extra ear, so things like this never happen again. I also said we should all get together and talk about how they've been feeling, but they totally ignored me. I'm feeling really frustrated that she told my boyfriend something I never said, and that when I mentioned everybody getting together, she ignored me. I'm grateful that my boyfriend has always taken my side on things when it comes to this, but it's been really difficult trying to please his family, particularly his mom. So, Lynch, am I the asshole for not going on this family trip?
Absolutely not. Her points are valid. Kid's only going to be 3 months old. It's camping in the winter out in the fucking woods. I don't consider that a family vacation, personally. If the parents want to go, have fun. And I think what she laid out was an absolutely reasonable plan. We'll do something a little bit later when the baby's a little bit older, and we can enjoy maybe like a countryside visit somewhere in a cabin, but not camping out in the fucking woods. Absolutely not the asshole.
All right. Matt, who's the asshole?
No, it's not. She's not the asshole. I mean, that whole situation's screwed up. I mean, luckily, based on what she's saying, which is all we know about, the boyfriend is backing her up, or at least not siding with mommy over it. But yeah, that whole situation's just screwy. Definitely not the asshole.
All right, Jen.
Is that the author of this named Jen Sizer?
I don't know. Help me out with this one.
Because, man, when Jack was little, I had a very similar experience. It had nothing to do with camping. It had to do with the mother-in-law taking him without us to a lake house. And I said no. There was no reason that an infant needed to be away from his mother. Food source here. For however many hours at a time, and it turned into one hell of a debacle. So if this lady is the asshole, so am I.
All right, fair enough.
She is not the asshole. It's her child. The end.
All right.
End of story.
Who's the asshole?
I don't think she's the asshole. I don't think it's this lady. I mean, yeah, people are soft nowadays when it comes to having babies. As I found out when my grandkid was born, people are a lot fucking softer and don't understand that. Like when a baby's born, like just the way like when a puppy's born into a pack and there's a litter, like all the other dogs like are right up its fucking ass. Humans are kind of the same way. And don't call. You need to have an appointment to come to the hospital. Don't touch my baby. You'll wear gloves and a mask and a Tyvek suit. And I'm like, because, come on, man. We used to fucking roll the baby in dirt still in the hospital. All of my children are that way. We rolled you in dirt in the fucking parking lot and took you home. So I don't want to hear, so I do have, I am the grumpy old man on this one with the way some of the new mothers are. It's my baby. I get it is, but it's our family. And it just everybody's really down on what family is nowadays. It's what you choose. It is, but it's not all of it. But so yeah, there is this new movement for not doing anything, not going anywhere. I'm not taking my baby there, but she's got the right. If it's cold, she doesn't want to make the trip. I mean, I spent big money on a vacation to go camping and bought a giant site right after the fire, bought all kinds of new camping equipment, and Brenton was young and was tough, and he did nothing but want to cry at night. So instead of crying and keeping a campground awake, Tam would take him home and put him in his crib and take laundry home and come back the next morning. So we did the whole camping trip with her not even being there overnight.
And
so,
you had clean clothes.
Right. But that was kind of what had to happen. Like, also, we were also being courteous of the other people there. So maybe the woman doesn't want to have people on vacation in a house if there's, and the baby decides to have a fucking bad night. There could be a million reasons. You don't want to be a bother. You don't want to deal with a hassle. You don't want to deal with a different dynamic. So I don't think she's the asshole at all for that.
All right. Can you throw up the last comment from Terry? She says, hello all and Happy New Year to you all. Happy New Year, Terry. Hope you're doing
Happy New
well.
Year, Terry.
She is awesome.
Happy New Year.
Wow.
So can I just throw in one more thing about the camping in the wintertime with an infant? I actually did it with Jack. He was about I don't know, 3.5, 4 months old, and he was very gassy, and he would blood curdle scream. So I can understand and appreciate not wanting to have to try to deal with an infant in those situations. However, it is also possible to do it. But it also depends on how much she enjoys camping, and it sounds to me like she doesn't she doesn't really like the company of her mother-in-law up to this point either. So that could be her out, is the child.
Right.
Not having to deal with
that. There's probably a couple of dynamics that cause reasons why this probably isn't the best possible option for her.
Yeah, again, when it comes to Reddit and Am I the Asshole, there's a lot of context missing that we all fight about every time we do this.
What I mean?
But
like if she's a local up in Denver, then she's wrapping the baby in a fucking blanket and hauling the thing up fucking 13,000 feet in fucking 3 degrees and going camping with the baby, because that's just the fucking people in Denver.
Right.
But if she's a transplant here from California, then that's not, you know what I mean? That ain't happening. What do you?
Right.
So there's a lot of reasons why somebody could not want to do it. Like, I will ride in the middle of fucking winter. I don't give a fuck. I'll ride the motorcycle all day long. My wife really doesn't get on that motherfucker unless it's 55 or up. And then when it gets like closer to 90, she don't want to be on it either because it's too hot. So,
oh my God, are we done here?
She's a passenger princess.
All right, going to move on to the next one. This is going to raise a lot of eyebrows. However, with the things that have happened in the last couple of years, I think I picked this one purposely to see, well, who's going to come back to the show and who's not, and how you guys in the comment section feel. I'm not going to read the title. I'm just going to dive right in. You readers are likely of an age to understand the nuances, and that's why I'm asking here. My brother was in a serious car accident and almost died. He survived. Well, good on your brother. My 72-year-old mom was at the hospital every day that she was allowed.
I got to stop you right there.
Go ahead.
He almost died. My brother was in a car accident where he almost died, but he survived. Hence, we knew that when you said almost died.
I knew it. I knew the first line. Just stop. I knew the first line was going to get somebody. I'm just
saying, if he almost survived, of course he didn't die.
You're almost pregnant.
Right. Continue.
Just a tip.
Thank you, Lynch, for bringing levity into the situation. My mother, a week after my brother's surgery, had a heart attack. She also survived.
Almost died.
Yeah, right. She has a stent and was released recently. It appears that she had a rare reaction to her vaccines that played into it. In our province, I'm guessing this is somebody. This is somebody Canadian. Thank you.
Canada, eh?
The booster was only available to her group during that time. She did not take it. Anyhow, she was in the hospital. COVID case numbers, especially the new massively more infective variant, don't get me started, are going up here everywhere. Apparently, 2 vax is not enough. My brother is feeling a little better and decided to do a child's birthday party where there were lots of kids who attend the daycare at my son's school because his girlfriend, again, they're not married, wanted them to be there, and it had been planned for weeks. There was a 0% chance anyone wore a mask at this party. Well, if you were there, you could tell us. In our area, there are caps on private gatherings, 10 people. As of tonight, the party was yesterday. My brother intends to attend other Christmas functions. His partner's sister... Again, what's with this partner thing? Just tell me who you're fucking talking about. His partner's sister's party's on the 24th.
This is why we don't need Canada.
Exactly. Planning is tight because of his partner's relatives' partners. Oh my God, I'm getting a stroke. Just fucking reading this.
You can't say follow
this.
You can't say boyfriend or girlfriend anymore.
My brother's sister's cousin's uncle's former college roommate.
It's the brain pain, coach. He wanted to see mom on the 25th. Okay, now we're getting into it. So now it is too late for him to get a PCR test before the 25th. He refuses to swap days. It is apparently also too late to do rapid tests to see our mom early on the 23rd, and that would be 5 days after exposure. So now they are saying that they would do January 7th, another holiday in our family instead. I don't know what holiday that is, but good on you, Canadian people. Bear in mind, he almost died. I'm talking about the kid in the accident now, I guess.
I think we covered that.
Yeah, right. And all she will want to do is see him and the kids. I asked him why in the fuck he went to the party yesterday when our mom is vulnerable, lung and heart function being intimately related, and he is furious and wants to cut me off from the family. Okay, I get it now. Is this guy the asshole, Lynch?
Holy shit! I'm still trying to decipher that Canadian.
Dude, it's like a stroke waiting to happen.
It happened.
Courts.
I think I had about 3 of them listening to you. Now that my brain is a little bit more tightly wrapped, he's asking if
you smell burnt toast.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead. I'll be right back.
Smells like KY and gasoline in here. Making some sexy napalm, motherfucker. If the guy is asking, is he an asshole for wanting his brother to get vaxxed before seeing his mother? I'm of one of 2 things, and it's funny that we this is a topic tonight because I talked about this at work. The vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. Let's just get that out there. It does not stop
or transmitting it.
Or transmitting
every time that COVID is back. No, COVID's not back. It never went away.
It never went away.
Left.
It's just like a normal flu. It's like a normal flu.
Like
it transmutates. It adapts because it's a virus. And that's what viruses do. They adapt and overcome the odds of you having this certain strain of virus shot. Getting vaccinated merely lessens the symptoms if you do get. That's medical 101 on vaccines, kids. It only makes you less likely to get violently ill. You're still going to get sick. The end.
On most of them, absolutely.
Most of them. Now, understandably so.
Technically, it's an inoculation.
Correct. Inoculation is a completely different thing. A vaccination.
Polio is an inoculation.
Correct. It's not a vaccine. It's an inoculation.
No, you cannot get polio once you get the polio.
Inoculated.
And they call it the vaccine, but it is an inoculation technically.
So I'm of two camps on this. Being a compromised individual myself, having had cancer, going through radiation treatment, diabetic with high blood pressure. My wife also
and he's mildly retarded. So it's,
but we don't talk about that much.
It numbs him to the pain.
Yeah. It's a good thing he doesn't know how stupid he is.
I'm harmful to my
bliss.
I'm harmless. And my wife also being high risk, being she's an asthmatic, they will get pretty ramped up symptoms if they got it. And she has had COVID.
Are you guys in a plastic bubble or?
Dude, she got COVID once. I think I already had it when the COVID virus started going around. I was working at a dog kennel with a bunch of young kids, and we all got violently ill. From the second week of February 2020 to March, we were all really, really fucking sick, like couldn't get out of bed sick. And then the magic word, COVID-19 comes out. And we all look at each other going, yep, had that. Yep, had that. I said, bitches, we all had the COVID and didn't know it. So I had it, I'm pretty sure. I didn't get the test to see if I had it.
That was me in December of 19.
Yeah.
Sicker than I'd ever been in my life. Didn't go to work. Like so sick that I was ready to possibly go to a hospital. Like legitimately, I was telling my wife, "Honey, I'm sick."
Yeah, and you don't get sick like that.
I'm on fire.
I'm on fire, motherfucker.
You're not on fire, Herm. I'm on fire.
I don't think he's an asshole for asking, but he is an asshole for not respecting his brother's opinion on it. If his brother doesn't want to get vaxxed, he doesn't want to get vaxxed.
It's his business.
It's his business. And Chris Chris can attest to you. Mr. Burns can attest to you that when COVID first came out, we were going to have a little get together, see each other for for a while. I'm like, hey, can we just wait a little bit till we figure out what this whole COVID situation?
Thank you, Ryan Springer.
And we knew how each other felt about COVID at the time. He's like, cool, no problem. We talked, we met face to face, and now here we are 3 years later.
Yeah, we're still alive, and you've had part of your brain. You've had part of your brain taken out. You've had, I don't use
a large portion of mine.
Did I actually hear someone say that you were mildly retarded?
Yeah, Herm over there.
Was it mildly?
It was mildly.
Knowing
you don't go full retard.
Knowing Lynch as long as I have, anything that has to deal with him is mild. We're gonna leave it at that. So Lynch, after your 40-minute dissertation, who's the asshole, and can we move to Matt?
You can move to Matt. I don't think he's being an asshole.
All right, who's the asshole, Matt?
I'm just trying to break this whole sordid 17-part story down again. Okay,
it's so Canadian. You got to let it go.
So the guy that didn't go to the party, or his brother didn't go to the party.
So there's two brothers. One brother went to a party with a bunch of kids, didn't get vaccinated, and it's too late to get vaccinated. The other brother's all pissed off about it.
Well,
is this brother over here who's mad that his other brother was at a party and didn't get vaccinated, and he doesn't want him to see mom? Is he an asshole for that?
I don't think he's an asshole for it. I mean, he clearly cares about his mother, so he's probably concerned about that. But
right.
I mean, at the same time, I don't think you can put demands on other people. But it sounds more like he's concerned about his mother. I don't think he's an asshole.
No. You can't be an asshole to something you can't control, because that's something I can't control other people. So
I mean, if the mother's 72 years old, whether she's immunocompromised or not or whatever, I mean, I could see somebody being concerned about it, but ultimately, he can voice his concerns about it, but his brother's going to do what he's going to do.
Right.
So I don't necessarily think he's the asshole for that.
Oh, Miss Jennifer Edwards is some other choice who she sees. And that's on her if she wants to take the risk. You know what? That's another point I was going to bring up. Being willing to cut someone off because of beliefs on the vaccine makes someone an asshole. If you're going to cut people out of your life, absolutely, I agree with you 100%, Jen. Because if that were the case, I would have a lot fewer friends. Because I got
how fewer can you get other than me and Herm?
All right. Not so close friends.
All right, fair enough.
You guys are family.
We're ride or die, bro.
Yeah, I got vaccinated.
No cap, dead ass, and all that.
Dead
bullshit.
ass, no cap. I got vaccinated. We both chose to get vaccinated because we're both immunocompromised, and we just don't want to go through the hassle of getting really, really sick. I don't ever want to see the inside of a hospital again after what I went through with my brain cancer. I'm done.
I don't want to see the inside of a hospital again visiting my friends, whether it be you or Terry or Derek the Undertaker or Mark Azarju or whomever. I hate hospitals. Everybody who knows me knows I hate hospitals. Hopefully one of you guys doesn't lose a leg like Kerry Von Erich, because then I have to go to a hospital.
No, you come see me at home, bro.
Right? I'll just feel like...
I'm like that line in Days of Thunder. The day that you get Herm to
the funeral,
a hospital or a funeral before it's his own need to be there, is you've done something. Like, I don't go to hospitals, bro. If I'm in the hospital, I'm afraid I'm gonna die.
If you were to lose a leg, and I want to watch Matt's face on this, I'd be like, "Hey, Kerry, what's going on?"
Yeah, for real. Like, I mean, I sustained injuries at work where, like, people don't know how the fuck
understood
injuries.
There's some super glue on it,
right? So we got Lynch, and dude, this was such a convoluted story. I'll be surprised if we make it all the way around the loop. Jen, who's the asshole? The brother, the mother, the sick brother. You Canadians need to go on Reddit and type this out a little bit more clearly, so Jen can figure it out.
Let me get this straight. Brother A is not the one that almost died. Brother B is the one who almost died. Brother B refuses to get vaccinated to go see mom.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So brother A is asking brother B, the one who almost died, to get vaccinated, and he's refusing. I think brother A is the asshole.
Okay.
Because I hate using this term, but it's very, very appropriate right now. But my body, my choice. I did not get vaccinated. I worked in a school and was required to wear a mask when nobody else had to. I was required to get tested every single week because I was not putting a chemical in my body that, number one, they haven't done any trials on. Number two, they don't know if it works. Now, after the fact, they're finding that it's just like the flu shot, where all of these new strains are coming out. You never know which one's going to hit you. I had COVID. I am also compromised. I am an asthmatic. It kicked my ass. I legitimately thought I was going to die, and I slept for 4 days. I still would not change the fact that I did not get the vaccine. I slept for 4 days straight, legitimately. And then I got up to go to the doctor, get tested, and was told on Thanksgiving that I had COVID. Jeff, also not vaccinated, got it a week and a half later. He lost a sense of taste and smell, nothing else. No cough, no aches, no nothing. So he lost his sense of taste and smell for about 2-ish weeks. Jack was 8 years old. He was not leaving mom alone. Neither one of my kids got it. So here's my take on COVID. Fuck COVID. It's a fucking virus, and you don't know how you're going to be affected. The end.
You're right. And if I can stop you, because I know people that have been affected terribly, and I know people who got the COVID and basically had the sniffles for a week. It affects everybody differently, but so does the flu. But so does, this, so does that. I'm all for, being careful around other people. If I've got, the sniffles or the snots coming out of my nose, I'm not going to get around, I don't know, a baby type person, nor am I going to get around an immunocompromised person. So you have to play the role depending on who's in front of you.
Right.
Having said that, locking down the country and all of that stuff, it just added to fear to me. And I was, and Lynch will tell you this, I was a big advocate for, hey, it's an airborne virus. We didn't lock down for SARS. We didn't lock down for H1N1. We didn't lock down for this. We didn't lock down for that. But now we're locking down. I get it. It was new. It was, I don't want to say exciting because that's the wrong word, but it was the new virus on the block. And
I thought it was tentative.
And let's also add, Chris. This is also add. I'm going to put a little tagline on what you're saying because I agree with you 100%.
Please do.
I'm going to add the media exposure caused so much disruption, so much impulse shopping, so much doomsday attitude about there's no toilet paper. There's not going to be any paper towel. There's not going to be any milk, no eggs. COVID equals no food. That was the mentality that was being pushed down the common folk in the country. And what did it cause? It caused shortages at the grocery store. Why? Because just like every fucking snowstorm in New England, you're out of milk and bread 6 hours before the storm, and it gets here and it's fucking rain.
Yeah, it's half an inch and then rain. Yeah.
People fucking panic when they don't understand what's coming in front of them.
Correct.
And when that panic sets in, it permeates every thought in your head. And
I'm just throwing it out here.
If you felt
get meat,
I'm gonna throw it out here before Herm says anything. This dude's not the asshole.
No.
All right, Herm. Before we get to pizza resistance, this one is gonna go ahead, please, Jen.
The brother requesting his other brother get vaccinated is not the asshole?
No, I'm saying the brother that refused.
Oh, okay.
Is not the asshole.
Okay.
But again, you have to take every situation for what's in front of you. I know people that are severely immunocompromised. So if I've got the sniffles, knowing what I know
you
about
wouldn't
these
be
folks,
a dick and go around them.
Fuck no, I'm not going to blow snot all over him. Hell no.
Lee, lick everything you own.
If I have plans,
We're not supposed to do that.
No.
Let me just. I don't know.
I like everything I own.
They get mad at you when you do it at Home Depot.
I'll use Lynch as an example because he did go through the brain cancer, the surgery, all of that. If I were even slightly ill and we had plans to be like, dude, give me 2 days, and he said, okay, cool. 2 days later, I'm feeling healthy as an ox. I'm at his house, or we're meeting at a restaurant, or we're doing whatever we do. You don't walk in front of somebody if you know you're not feeling well and you know that this person is immunocompromised. No, absolutely not. The brother, I understood, the first brother who said, get vaccinated. Does anybody understand what a vaccine does? It protects you. It doesn't protect the people around you.
Correct.
No, well,
I went through. Hold on, I'm not. Can I finish what I said earlier? Go ahead, Herm. Before I finish my point.
Well, there is also, unfortunately, and it is an effective method. There is the herd concept. All right,
agreed.
If I have 100 cows,
herd immunity.
And if I have 100 cows and 98 of them are vaccinated against fucking mad cow disease, then the other two, by the fact that they live within a community where nobody else can get that disease, even though they would drop dead in a moment, those 2 cows are just as safe as the other 98. And that was the idea that they were using. Now,
exactly.
I know. Okay, so I know that everybody was, and I didn't give a fuck because I'm going to put it out here like this. Everybody was talking about it's not been checked. It's not been tested. It's nigga, do you know how many chemicals I've put in my body that weren't checked? You think one
wait, Herm.
You've been blowing rails for 20 years, but the COVID shot's going to take you the fuck out.
Herm, what's the name of
the motherfucking line?
Herm, what's the name of that liquor store that you want to get to sponsor the show?
Big Bear Liquors.
Big Bear Liquors. Miller Lite has not been tested. However, I'm going to put this in my body as often as I can.
That's
and you know where I do this from? Big Bear Liquors.
I'm not admitting specific crimes, but dude, I have no right to make any kind of argument about it's an untested chemical. I'm putting it in my body, bro.
You know how many
I put piles of untested chemicals into my body.
I went to rehab senior year for putting untested chemicals in my body.
I don't remember 7 or 8 years because of the chemicals I put into my body. Like
I still graduated. Herm, finish this out. Who's the asshole? Okay, get brief because I got a really good one.
I think the brother that is concerned and wanting his brother to be vaccinated is not an asshole move. All right, I can understand that. It's family. He's taking care of mom. I get that, and I get him being American and being able to express that right to feel that way. What I do think is the asshole move is him saying you can't have any contact because you didn't get tested.
So there's an asshole and a half.
It's like half an asshole.
All right.
It's
0.5. It's not the whole starfish. It's just one side. It's just one side. He's half an asshole. You have the right to feel that way and express it, but then you've said your piece, and now either your mother makes a decision on it or your brother feels really fucking guilty when she dies in a month. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
It's only one in the pink and one in the stink instead of 2.
Right. It's
my God, Jennifer.
Don't you use my full name.
Yeah, it's
no, you threw the shocker out there. No.
My sweet baby Jesus.
No,
this is why we can't have nice things.
This is a shocker.
Can we throw up Brian's comment real quick? I'm immunocompromised by adrenal insufficiency. The Moderna shot put me in the ICU for a week. When I got COVID, I was on a ventilator. Wow. Dude. Ryan is a good dude. So swig a beer to you, my friend.
Well, like we already said, it hits everybody differently, just like anything else. So
anybody who's been affected by COVID, if you came out on the other side, great. What I don't like, and there are many instances of this, and it's another show for another time, where a guy would die of a heart attack, but he tested positive for COVID, and it would be like, oh, he died of COVID. Yeah, of course.
You got into a car accident, but if you had COVID, you died of COVID.
Right? Blunt force trauma to the head when the windshield smacked you in the mouth, but yeah, COVID.
It was COVID.
This one is going to...
Hey, Mr. Autopsy Doctor, what are we doing with all these bullets? They're not bullets. They're COVID scars.
All right, this one is going to hurt your mind and your feelings. I saved this for last.
Even more. Come on.
Oh my God! And you know what? We're gonna. I'm.
Let me get my brain in tune.
I'm throwing an executive order out here. Herm, you're gonna go first. Then Jen. Then Matt. Lynch is gonna be the cleanup batter. Are you ready?
Go. Missy Elliott, reverse it.
Oh my God!
Flip it.
Keep in mind, this is a 16-year-old female writing this, so I'm throwing it out there. I'm not disparaging females. I'm saying this is a 16-year-old female writing this.
Am I the asshole for blowing the basketball team?
I can't even.
This is less than 36 hours old. I found the nicest, freshest "Am I the asshole" I could find, and you guys are going to decide. All of you, are you ready?
Ready.
I can smell it from here.
Here we go. So, I, a 16-year-old female, and my brother, 13 years old, and my mother, 45 years old, all went on a holiday to Spain this week. The room setup was 2 single beds in the bedroom, and someone will have to sleep on the sofa. When we got to the hotel at 1 a.m, I said that I would sleep on the sofa, as all I wanted to do was get some sleep after a long day of traveling. The next day, me and my mom agreed that I would just stay sleeping on the sofa for the rest of the trip, as my mom and I would end up killing each other if we had to sleep in the same room. I like this girl already. And agreed that this would be the best arrangement for everyone. My brother, on the other hand, was not too happy about this because before the trip, we discussed that one of us would spend 2 of the 6 nights on the sofa. So please bear in mind that I have mild OCD, anxiety, and an eating disorder. See, already, I'm already hot, and I've read this before. The eating disorder she's gotten over in the past year, according to her. Okay, coming up to the main issue. Me and my mom were in the room, and my mom was taking a nap on the sofa. Admittedly, she was taking up a lot of room, whereas I was sat on the part of the sofa that I had slept on. That doesn't make any sense. My brother was outside at the pool. I decided to go to the bathroom. And while I'm in there, I don't know how big this room is. Stop it. And while I'm in there,
I'm going to pound one out here.
You know, this only happens on Wednesday nights, but shut up, Herm. And while I'm in there, I hear my brother knocking on the door, and I think nothing of it, and I get back to taking care of business. When I come out of the bathroom, my brother was sat in my bed with all of my blankets on him, and he is wet. His swim trunks and a T-shirt that he had been wearing on the plane the day before. I ask him to move as he is going to get my bed all wet, and I don't want him to be sleeping in a wet bed. He declines and says that I can just go sit on the bed in the other room. I say, no, that's not the bed that I'm staying on, and that he should go sit in it on the bed he is staying at. Oh my God, I'm getting a stroke just reading this. Why do you always do this? You ruin every... I started crying, as this is my instant trauma response. Oh my God, here we go. It's Little Miss Muffet all over again.
No, it's not. It's very liberal, but it's not. Hear me out.
When I say Little Miss Muffet, stop. When I say Little Miss Muffet, Lynch gets the reference.
When we go on vacation, look, I'm sleeping on the couch. There's a reason you sat down on the couch wet and didn't go in and sit on your own bed.
Because you're trying to piss somebody else off.
There, and you weren't worried about laying in that later. I am
Bingo.
sleeping on the couch. Okay.
But the fact that this young lady,
but you're focusing on some of the words that she used and not
Yes, I am.
What the fuck happened here? The fact
instant
is,
trauma response. Get the fuck out of here.
That doesn't matter. That's her way of saying that doesn't really matter. All right. But you're focusing on the word. What the word is saying is that instantly brought on feelings of her being upset about it. That's all that's saying. It's just the new speak. The fact is she asked, hey, bro, I got to sleep here every night. You're going to sit here and the whole thing's going to be wet. So
all right, I'm calling a timeout. I'm calling a timeout. Herm, you didn't have a brother. I understand this. If your brother sat his wet ass on your bed, what would you have done to your brother?
Okay, but that's
no. Answer the question. Answer the question. We're not talking about.
I think you guys are agreeing, just in different words.
That's where she is, man. You're talking about your brother sitting on your bed. Well, that's
I'd have whooped the shit out of him.
That's what her brother did, and she's pissed because now I either got to put my fucking pillow where your wet ass sat, or my feet are going to sit there on the wet fucking sofa because everybody knows the sofa dries out in 3.5 minutes when your wet from the fucking pool ass sits on it. We're saying the same fucking thing.
So I'd have whooped the shit out of him. That's what I'm saying.
She's pissed. Her verbiage
now I lost where I was.
Matter.
See?
Trauma response.
Because she
trauma response. Thank you.
She asked him to move because that's where she is sleeping. If
I gotta find trauma response
and went in and laid on his bed in her wet.
I'll buy it. I'm gonna let it go. Here we go. I start crying because that's my instant trauma response.
But she's a girl. That's her. Like that girls do that when the girls cry, and it's a scientific study when they're frustrated and they don't have a response and know how to handle that particular situation. And
hold that thought. Jen, are we good?
Violent and assaulting. Because
he's right. Because let me tell you, if I get to the level of crying, I'm about to fuck you up.
Because there's been studies where women will be more aggressive and harder over the phone where there's no direct threat that the person can hurt them or get over on them than they are in a situation that's exactly the same but face to face. So
I'm one of the few. I don't give a shit if I'm on the phone or face to face. If I get to crying, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right. She's really fucking pissed, and her anger response is she's calling it trauma response.
Right.
Her anger response is crying out of frustration.
I don't know what hurts worse, the brain pain or reading this, listening to all of you. But I get it. Here we go. I started crying because that is my instant trauma response to any conflict or when someone starts yelling at me.
Right. She doesn't handle conflict well.
So I thought to myself, I think for once I'm going to stand up for myself and say, well, the only reason you're saying all this is because I woke up from a nap and you favor my brother over me. My brother was smirking the whole time. Oh, this leads into something I'm going in my personal life. Lynch knows. Herm knows.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was smirking the whole time because at this point, he was sitting on my bed out of pure pettiness. In all fairness, I understand where they are coming from because I do things that I do in a certain way because of my OCD. And sometimes people have to do stuff for that to happen. Okay, that's a weird sentence. After that big tangent, my mother went on and I asked my brother to move one more time and gave him the reasons for doing so. And he laughed it off and started mocking me with my mom. So I took a pillow from behind my mom's leg, put the pillow at the end of where my brother sat. I asked him to move his legs, and he declined. So I sat on his legs out of protest and to just lighten the situation. My brother kicks me off of him and yells at me, calling me a fat bitch and saying, you can never take no for an answer. And why would you do that to me? So I shoved his legs out of the way and sat down. I started crying silently. How do you cry silently? I'll leave that alone. And my mom kept looking at me like I was a failure. And then she said, I wish I'd never taken you on this trip. That honestly made me cry more as I already feel like the outcast of my family. After another 5 minutes of me crying and my mom staring at me, she went on a rant about how, quote, I am a child and she is my mother and I should never talk to her like that. And everything she has done for me or about me, and I never leave my room, so I don't know how to socialize anymore. Unquote. This whole time I was thinking about how she gets to treat me and how it is funny that the reason I don't leave my room is because I get treated like this every time. Currently, my mom is on the phone with her boyfriend back in the States talking about how the situation is my fault and I'm the cause of this. So we're going to go back to the original rotation. Lynch, she asks, so am I the asshole?
Reasonably, no, because she was like, hey man, that's where I'm sleeping. You just fucked it up. Move. Or I'm gonna sit on you. I that's how I hear it all playing out. I'm sure you did that to your brother. Matt, move or I'm gonna sit on you. Or something.
There's a story.
Like
I don't
I'm gonna pick you up and throw you on the floor.
There's a story I'm gonna tell at the end of this that some of you have heard, some of you have not, but I told it in front of my brother and his wife and his mother-in-law in Florida last year, and everybody pissed themselves laughing because that's what kids do. But go ahead, please.
Much like conversations of our current times, I'm gonna remove the feelings from the facts. Fact, she is not an asshole for saying that her little brother. I don't know what the fuck's happening. Her little brother should go sleep in his own fucking room or get off the fucking couch. If he says no, that's being very unreasonable. Now, bringing some feelings into this, yeah, it hurt her feelings. And for her mother to say that about her and to her about, no, I shouldn't have taken on vacation. Well, the mother is the asshole for not taking the kid's feelings into consideration. I mean, having all those mental issues, OCD, always have the same routine. So she has 6 days of a routine planned out in her head. You're fucking up my routine. That is something that's going to throw somebody with OCD into a spiral. I get that. And that's probably how she manages and how she deals with her own problem. She sets plans and wants to stick to them. So once you deviate from that plan, everything's fucked up. So I can understand why she got upset. The mother, I think, is the asshole. And I think the little girl, 16 years old, she's trying to find a voice and speak up for herself. And, about that time she did.
Okay, Matt, who's the asshole?
Yeah, I agree with Lynch on that. I didn't initially. I tend to be predisposed to just being annoyed with people and all their little XYZ, anxiety ailments and this, that, and the other. But, after hearing the whole story, anybody that's had siblings has been through this. And as far as the going on vacation, I can't speak for everybody else, but I'd say that most of us that have gone on vacation as a kid at one point or not, our parents have told us, "I'm sorry I brought you."
Guilty.
Usually it was the line, "Knock that off, I'm gonna fucking end you." That was usually what I heard.
You guys have to remember, Lynch is an only child, so if that happened, shit went wrong.
Yeah, real wrong.
Yeah. We would go on vacations with cousins and shit, and my cousins were like my brothers and sisters until they moved to Texas. So, yeah, that has been spoken of once or twice. But yeah, usually when it was just me, I will fucking kill you if you don't stop doing that shit.
I can see your dad saying that to you.
Yeah,
and I love him to this day. God rest his soul. Your dad was amazing.
Yeah, I agree. As far as, I don't think she's the asshole. She's trying to find her voice and find her way. Like I said, she's got a tough road ahead of her.
Yeah.
But, it's not a pleasant situation to be in. Like I said, it's tough, because she comes across initially as extremely whiny, and it's difficult for me to get around that to like the crux of, okay, she's really kind of being victimized here.
Yeah.
Understood. I like that. Thank you, Matt.
I like it too.
All right. Leprote.
All right. I'm taking a clinical approach on this because I work with. I work with 12, 13, 14-year-olds, and they throw around the term anxiety and OCD like everybody else throws around the word the. I love you. You're my bestie. What's that?
The way liberals throw around ist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or phobe.
So if she does actually have OCD, if she is diagnosed OCD, I can understand why the whole situation would cause her pain, because you do get these
trauma for her.
Exactly. You're in this mindset. You have everything planned out, and if something goes differently, your whole world is screwed up. However,
47 things are fucked.
Right. So 16, does she actually have OCD, or is she just saying she likes routine? She likes to know what's going on. Whatever the case may be, but I just know that a lot of kids throw around those terms willy-nilly.
That's the problem with kids having so much access to stuff, is that they read about this stuff and they're like, oh, that's me.
Yeah, yep. Self-diagnosed.
Everybody's got ADHD. Everybody's got anxiety. The problem is nobody has any kind of, I'm not even going to say thick skin. They don't have skin at all. Somebody
exactly.
And oh my God, they're racist, they're sexist, they're genderist, whatever the case may be. It has become something because they didn't like it. So
I liken this to people who use the word trauma as a crutch. No, you didn't suffer trauma. You made shit decisions, and now you're having to deal with the aftermath.
Correct.
Here's the problem.
Accountability is hard pill to swallow.
Right. If you've been raped, you have trauma. If you've been in an accident, like a really heart-wrenching, like body misshaping accident, you have trauma. If you've seen war, you have trauma. If you've been abused as a child, you have trauma. If you made a shit decision in your life, you don't have trauma.
It's not trauma.
Yeah, you're the victim of bad decisions.
So a lot of the time, it's not the kids that with that kind of thing say trauma. It's they see the word and they use it, and they redefine the definition of what trauma is. Because it is a buzzword.
Thank you, Ryan.
And the mom are assholes.
The brother and the mom are assholes.
Ryan's comment is exactly kind of where I was going.
That's kind of where I was going as well, because the brother's doing it because he's a dick. He's a younger brother. He's supposed to do those things.
That's his job.
That's what younger brother.
Again, when I tell that story about my brother, you'll get it. But that's what younger brothers do. They do shit to piss you off.
Yes, but I'm going to bet money there's a dynamic there with everybody knows that, and the brother knows that he's the baby.
Yeah, because
mommy's little
there's
boy.
a dynamic there. And
Absolutely.
the dynamic is
he can be an asshole. So he's doing what he wants to do because he can. The mom's the asshole because of what she said to the kid. You like, as pissed off as you get at your kid, you never say, I wish I never did X, Y, and Z.
I'm not gonna like my mom. Look, if this had been, and this was my sister and I, and we were on vacation, and I was sleeping on the couch. If my sister had come in wet from the pool and sat down on the couch, first of all, why the fuck is your wet ass sitting on the fucking couch?
Would have got her ass whooped
Second of all, that's where your brother sleeps.
Right.
So the mom is technically not doing her job effectively because this is a teachable moment. And, hey, asshole, this is how we teach about courtesy and how we deal with things on fucking vacation.
And respecting people's space.
Right. So I'm guessing
pillow because I have to go to the bathroom.
Right. I'm guessing everybody here thinks that the brother was the asshole.
Yeah, the brother and the mom.
Brother and the mom. I like
the mom. Yeah,
as assholes.
I don't
buying the mom.
Brother was the asshole. I think he was being a typical younger brother. I think the mom was the asshole for not taking care of it.
Yeah,
Understood.
The brother was acting like an asshole. The mother is an asshole. There's a difference.
I'll buy all of that. And I'm going to tell you this story as we say hello to JR, our PR guy for Speedway Review in the comment section. Hello, JR.
Hey, Jay.
So my brother had this thing that he used to do when we were kids. We'd play board games, whether it was like Perfection or Chutes and Ladders. Or all right, which one of you?
It might be.
Is causing. It might be you.
It's not me.
No.
My gimmick's off.
All right. It seems to be gone. Okay. So my brother had this thing that he used to do when he was losing. He would give himself the old. We all called it the Indian sunburn. I don't know what they call it now.
Yeah, I remember those.
I don't think you can call them that anymore.
I thought it was Indian burn, but whatever.
Right, but whatever it's called, and I told this story in front of my brother, my sister-in-law, my brother's mother-in-law. I went to Florida last year for my birthday, for my 50th, had a great time. You guys all saw the pictures. And I told this story, like, if Matt was losing a game, he would give himself the old Indian sunburn, like, and then he'd smack the shit out of himself. And then he'd say, Chris hit me. And I'd catch a whooping.
That was my sister. That was my sister. All she'd literally do is, Daddy! And that was it. That was it. It didn't matter.
Nope.
Because he'd be beating me with a baseball bat and have the bat in hand.
But because my dad was a cop, he needed evidence. So Matt would do the thing, smack the shit out of himself. There's a handprint on his arm, and I'd catch a whooping. So one day we were playing a game in the room, and I could see my dad coming down the hall to check on us, and Matt's losing. He goes, "Oh, I'm gonna fix your wagon now." And he's doing this, and I kind of looked up real briefly, and I saw Dad. I'm like, go ahead, bitch. And he's like, yeah, if you don't let me win. And my dad just standing in the doorway. So we roll the dice again, and I move, and I'm winning. And he goes, Pap, Chris hit me. He goes, I'm going to hit you harder. And his face went from tears to this. I excused myself from the room, only about 7 or 8 feet, so I could listen to the sound of my redemption. And to this day, Matt and I laugh about this now, but in that day when we're like, he's 2.5 years younger than me, 3 years younger than me, so 11 and 8 years old, or however old I was. It's like, bitch, this happens all the time, and I caught these weapons. But the fact that he got caught was enough for me. And, we laugh about it now. But, man, just that's the way young people think. It's unfortunate because if I don't get what I want, and I can say that about 30-year-old people now. I mean, all of us here are of an age over 40.
And then
I know. Matt, of course I know. The other two, they're over 60. But
my class ring's old enough to fucking drink.
Mine too.
What I'm saying is, when I listen to young people talk about how dare you did shut the fuck up. You're not preparing these people for the future. You're preparing them for failure.
Yep.
And Lynch and Herm know, and I'll share this with you when we go off air. Wow, we've already gone 5 minutes heavy. We can go another 10 minutes if you want, but when we go off, you guys don't go anywhere. I'll share with you this story, and I want to hear when I'm done telling the story what Matt thinks and what Jen thinks. When it all comes down to it, it's not our job to cater to children. It's our job to lead children into the next generation. Our job is to help them see around corners that they don't know are there. Much like with my daughter. She'll tell me things I really don't want to hear because I'm a girl dad. And I'm like, oh, for the love of Christ, can you not tell me this? But she'll ask me, what do you think? That's how I know I've done right. That's
Absolutely.
how I know.
Went to you with these situations.
Jen, if you knew half of what I'll share it with you later. I'll give you a call in the next couple of days. We'll have a great time.
Sure.
But knowing what I know about my daughter's life, and she's honest with me, which is great. I love it. I've always told her from the day she hit the ground running, you can tell Dad anything. Certain things I don't want to hear, and I hear the drums in the background.
Oh, no, that was
From
just
the comment,
you're good. You're good.
oh, okay. I'm gonna go about 3 minutes heavy, real quick. I have children. Jen has children. Herm has children. Matt probably has children he doesn't know about. And
Oh, I'm sure I have a couple of those too.
I made sure of that.
And Lynch is infertile. So all I know is, as parents in this day and age, the kids are going to hate it. I hated my parents when I was a kid, but they helped me see around those corners. And it took me until I was about 25, 26 years old to see, wow, you're really helping me. So I picked these Am I the Assholes on purpose because a lot of it sounded like self-entitlement. And
Absolutely.
I'm going to go around the horn. I'll start with Jen. We'll go to Matt and then Lynch and then Herm. Jen, if you can, sum up some of these Am I the Assholes tonight. Is this self-entitlement, or is this just them thinking they deserve more than they should have?
I think self-entitlement and deserving more than they should are one and the same. I think everybody in every story has some level of my opinion is correct and you should do what I want you to do.
Kind of like pronouns.
Yes, like you can have whatever you want. You can't.
Poor Matt. Oh my God! I just watched him shudder. We'll get to you in a minute. Go ahead, Jen, please.
Yeah, every single story has some level of self-entitlement, and it's unfortunately the society that has become. You don't like it, you can cry. Like I said before, racism, genderism, whatever, and get what you want. It's throwing a little temper tantrum like a 3-year-old. But 30 years old, 70 years old, whatever, doesn't matter. It's a learned behavior.
All right, fair enough. Matt, what do you got?
Well, I for the most part, I think that, there's a lot of entitlement and, like Jen was saying, I mean, I think everybody is the hero / victim of their own story. Very, very few people can really take a good hard look inward and see, okay, I'm the villain here. But most of the stories, like I said, I'm not very empathetic to, especially the younger ones where it's the poor me and I have this and, I'm being victimized. The one story where the mother didn't want to take her baby, winter camping, basically. Yeah, I can definitely, empathize with that. But at the same time, these stories are all told from one perspective, so it's not like you're going to get the truth.
We don't
Understood.
have guests to interview.
Right? I got to take a brief pause, but I absolutely know where Lynch is going to go with this, so I'm going to give the next, minute and a half to Lynch. Lynch, are these stories that we heard tonight self-entitlement, or is this a bigger problem?
Taken out of context, because we have none, it all to me looks like it's entitlement, because we don't know the whole story. You have to assume. I assume the worst before I get the truth. So the worst side of that those stories are, well, poor me, look at me, I'm a victim, lame duck, blah 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 blah. And the problem being is that most young people under the age of, from the ages of like 12 to in their 30s now, believe that what they feel is how things should be. I can feel one way about wanting a really nice classic car, but the reality is I'm never going to get the classic car I want. I can feel about it all day long. And that's why I said in that last one, I'm going to remove feelings from facts. Based upon structural facts given to me, I would say this would be my answer. No, I think that they actually have a gripe. But every story nowadays has feelings, how I felt. Sometimes you
dear
can't let
Christ,
feelings.
with the feelings.
No, listen, feelings. But you're going to like my point. You can't let your feelings make an important decision that's going to affect you for the rest of your life or a relationship.
Yes, you can, as long as you chuck those feelings up under religion.
We're not going to bring religion into this. You fat fuck.
I'm not bringing it up. I'm just saying
he is absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct.
You can use any feeling you want as long as you tab it under religion.
Wrong. Right. I'm a semi-religious guy. I'm going to say this now. Hold on. I'm a semi-religious guy. So do I put my feelings based on religion? No. Do I put my thoughts on how things work in the world toward religion? No. I cannot say, and this is where I'm going to go to Herm's point, I cannot say that everybody doesn't do the same.
Correct.
All right, but my point being is children under the age of 18 are making decisions that are going to affect the rest of their lives and alter who they are for the rest of their lives because they feel a certain way. The more important point nowadays is get to why do you feel that way? Is it something we can fix? Is it something that other people are doing to make you feel that way? And once we know that, maybe you'll feel differently. Maybe you won't want to chop your dick off for the rest of your life.
Hey, you know what? I'm all for it. You know why? And here it is. I'm all for it because you all want to change your gender and this and that and the other thing. It makes it so difficult for any of you to reproduce and pass any of those fucked up genes in your head onto another fucking human on this goddamn fucking planet. So you know what? Let them cut their dicks off. Let them sew the axe wound up. Put a strap-on, do whatever it is that makes you happy. Think whatever you want to think. But you know what? The naturally biological people on this planet will prevail. So do it. Go ahead. You're just getting
Jen, what's your husband's name is Jeff, right?
Correct.
Is Jeff watching right now?
He's in the kitchen doing dishes.
Oh my God. All right, reverse gender roles right there.
All of the sexist remarks.
Right? Get in the comment section right now and tell Jen how absolutely reverse misogynist or bullshit, whatever. Here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to go to Herm's point.
Dirty bitch boy.
Let the small fish hook themselves. The rest of us will be okay.
No,
it's all said and done.
I know that was a very long, convoluted way to my answer, but it really, you have to think that way today. You really do, because with zero context and taking it at face value, they sound like long cunts. Sorry. I didn't get my way.
What you're considering fact is emotion. They're presenting
facts don't care about your feelings.
But the point she's making is that everything that every fact they're presenting is a feeling. It's not the actual facts. Tell me the story like it's the most boring story on the planet, so I can understand it and know what the facts are.
Correct.
Then we can go back and talk about how you felt, and I'll think it's a great story. That's what novels do. They take a very basic structure and they throw a little bit of feeling and entertainment in it, and it makes you happy.
I look at 4 of the people on this panel. 4 of the people on this panel have some sort of facial hair. Everybody rub their chin real quick, except for you, Lynch. That's a possum. You don't have facial hair, Jennifer. Stop it.
How do you know? It's 2024.
Here we go. I'm not even.
You can have facial hair.
If I walk up to Matt and I meet him for the see, this is why we can't have nice things, Jen. And she left. See,
I have a funny comment. Oh, she's gone anyway.
If I walk up to Matt for the first time ever and I meet him, say in a subway, and I say, "Hey, dude," and if he looks at me and goes, "Excuse me," I identify as a female. I would punch him in the throat. You're not a female.
You can't
a female. Okay. Stop. Offside clipping.
I'm just telling you. I don't feel that way, but you can't assume anything anymore.
If you have a beard,
everybody fucker.
Yeah, hey fucker.
I am genetically predisposed to only having the chin biscuit. The rest of you guys grow a beard like I wish I had. However, if I walked up to somebody like Matt or like Lynch or like Herm who could grow a luscious, beautiful beard and say, "Hey, sir," and they said, "Excuse me?" Oh, hell no. The first time they said, "I identify as throat punch."
Well, look at
it's all over.
My new screen name is my pronoun is Aardvark.
I like that. Have you seen mine on on the Twitter machine?
No, I can't get on Twitter anymore.
I put up my pronouns on the Twitter machine is me, myself, I.
Okay. Yeah, my Twitter's all fucked up. I gotta figure it out and rechange the password. It's been months.
I'm guessing that the dishes were done and Jen had to leave because she had to she had to approve of the job that Jeff did.
Oh, go supervise.
All good. I'll tell you.
You can't wash dishes unsupervised.
That's right.
You can, however, it may not be the best job. There are the drums, Matt. Stay with us when we leave. Guys, Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Want to make sure that this show and anything we do is going to grow. Matt, it was great having you. Free reign whenever you want to come back. We do really crazy topics.
Yeah,
we come
good.
up with one that
it's fun.
Watch a show, have a good time. All of you in the comment section, thank you for joining us tonight. Jen, wherever you went, thank you for joining us tonight. It was
nice talking to you.
And Lynch is going to go do a beard treatment.
Oh, I am actually.
I figured.
Voice activated.
Stay tuned for the last word.
Oh, now we got music.
If I cut my dick off right now, would I still be a man? My prostate says yes.
Ooh.
Right them.
Thank you.
Killed him.
Thing's fucking swollen.
There you go.
Grapefruit.
Like a baboon.